over the past several years, I've seen a number of requests about how to create this animated map montage effect from Johnny Harris videos. And I actually created one of these montages way back in the day. A few years ago, I did one of his Cyprus videos, and I did a montage of the island of Cyprus. So I'm going to give you a breakdown of how I went about this particular animation. As always, if you want to get the project files, those will be available over on my Patreon page, link down in the description. Also, I have an After Effects masterclass that I've been working on for a long time, and it's coming out in a few months. If you want to join the waitlist for that, I will leave a link to that in the video description as well. Basically, you'll be notified of when the pre-sale will launch, where there'll be a significant discount. So if you want to check that out, follow the link down in the video description. So for the first step, I'm going to download some maps. Now, in this particular video, I'm going to do a montage of the country of Iceland. So I'm going to go over to the David Rumsey collection here. It's just davidrumsey.com. I'll do a keyword search for Iceland, and I'll just grab like between 5 to 10 maps for this. And when you grab them, you can click on the export button. Just make sure you get a high enough resolution. If you're going to be doing 1920 by 1080, you want to get like extra large or even extra large. I usually find that the highest resolution possible is the best, especially if you want to zoom in on these maps. Okay, so I've downloaded a handful of maps. I'm going to go and grab all of them and drag them and drop them right in the project panel of Adobe After Effects. Now I want to set up a composition, so I will click on this little button down here, and I'm going to do like a square 1920 by 1920 comp here. I'll call it map montage. And what I want to do is I'm going to grab my first map here. So let's grab something like this one, and I'll drag it and drop it down here. And if I want to perfectly fit it to the comp, I can right click it and go to transform and say fit to comp height. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Now, to align these, I want to basically select a reference point on this map where I can align all the other maps to, and then resize them and rotate them and slightly position them. So the way I like to do this is choose like a peninsula that's pretty evident that it's going to be in every map, and I'll be able to grab it. So I'm going to grab the tip of this peninsula down here. So the way I'm going to align this is I will click this little button right down here, and I'm going to select rulers, and I'm going to add some guides here. So we want to see rulers and guides. And what we can do is just click in the ruler over here and drag it out. And I'm going to put this one right over the peninsula, and I'll drag this one out as well. And now we have this point right here. I'll go to the view drop down menu, and I'm going to say lock guides, and I will also say snap to guides. Now by default, you should have this little snapping option turned off. If it's turned on, I would suggest you turn it off. We're going to be using snapping, but a way you temporarily enable snapping is to hold the controller command key as you're moving layers around, and I find that much easier. You can just use it that way. So let's take a look here. Now I have this layer. This is going to be our bottom map. If I turn down the opacity, you can see now we have the guides here, and they're directly over here. So what I want to do on all of these maps is I want to take the anchor point and put them over this particular area here. I don't need to do it for this bottom map, but I'm going to be doing it for all the others, because when I scale and rotate, I want them all moving and positioning from this specific point, this reference point. So I'll just go ahead and do this for this map to show you as an example. To move an anchor point, you click on the anchor point tool right here, or you hit keyboard shortcut Y, then you can grab it. And to perfectly snap it, actually it will snap automatically because I've turned on snapping there. I turned on snap to guides, but if you hold the control key, it will snap as well. So we'll snap that right there. Okay, so this one's in place. I'm going to turn the opacity of this up, and now I'm ready to drop some other maps here. And I'm actually going to lock this layer so don't accidentally move it. And now I'm going to go and grab our next layer. So we'll grab this one here, drag it and drop it above this one. And I'm going to jump between some keyboard shortcuts here. So V is the selection tool and Y is the anchor point tool. So I'm going to hit V to move this, and then I'm going to hit Y to move the anchor point. Now real quickly, want to move my anchor point over to this peninsula here. So this is a pretty old map, so this one might not line up perfectly. It's definitely not going to line up perfectly. So I got the anchor point in place. Now I'm going to move it, and it will snap right here. And now what I want to do, just to make things easy, is I'm going to hit the T key for opacity. And there's three real parameters I like to use when I'm aligning these. And to do it quickly, I open up opacity with keyboard shortcut T, then I hold the shift key and I hit S, and then I hit R. So that brings up scale, rotation, and opacity. These are kind of the three main parameters you want to use. And now you can bring down the opacity so you can see the underlying map. And now we can start to scale this, and I can start to rotate it. And if you hold the control key, it will basically make it more precise. Now, depending on how much you want to align these, because you're going to have different projections and everything, you can actually use the puppet pin tool as well, because this is pretty far off here. So since this is going to be a real quick montage, you can move some things around and warp it and puppet pin tool it if you're game for that and you're want to keep everything aligned. So what I could do here is just grab the puppet pin tool and just quickly add some puppet pins and just do a down and dirty alignment here. And this could be something that, like, maybe you don't want to do this, so maybe when you're sourcing your maps, only grab maps that have like a Mercator projection or have a similar projection, so you don't have to do this particular step, because this can be pretty time intensive and it's going to warp certain things out. So, and now hit T again to bring up the opacity and see how this looks. This is looking pretty close. Okay, this one's good. Now, I shouldn't have to use the puppet pin tool every time. This is just a more finicky one. So I'm going to bring this next one down. I'm going to turn off the visibility of that second one. And now I'll go back to the selection tool. Let's go ahead and move the anchor point with the Y key. And I'm just going to repeat these steps. Move the anchor point to the peninsula, switch back to the selection tool, snap it to our reference point in our guides, hit T for opacity, hold shift and hit S and R to bring up scale and rotation. And now we bring the opacity down and I bring the scale down and we see how this aligns. Now this one aligns like almost perfectly. Check this out. So this one's very, very close. And then we're basically repeating these steps for every single map. So I'm going to quickly speed through this. Again, depending on how much time you have and how tight you want this to look, you can use the puppet pin tools, or you can just do a down and dirty montage with no puppet tools. Okay, I've got all of these aligned. Now I'm gonna just select all, hit T, and make sure the opacity is up on all of them, and then turn the visibility on of all of them. And now I can quickly go through and just see if they're all aligned. Now what I wanna do is I'm gonna go to Layer and select New Null, and I'm gonna rename this Control, and I can simply parent all of these maps to my control layer. So if I'm going to do any kind of animation movement, I can just animate this simple null layer. If I want to scale it up or do like a subtle scale up, scale down, I can use this controller. And this can be another layer of, like, if I want to do even more moves, I can just pre-comp this entire thing and animate the pre-comp in a containing comp. So to actually do a time lapse or a montage of these, I'm going to lock off my control layer. And what I want to do now is I want to trim these down. So I'm going to select all of my maps, and then I'm going to go like 3 frames. So I'm going to use page down to just go 3 frames, and I'm going to hold Alt and hit right bracket, and that's going to trim these down. So let's see what we got here. 1, 2, actually we might need to trim these down a little bit, like, yeah, maybe 1 frame less. So this is still 3 frames. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's 3 frames. Okay, so I've trimmed these down. So why did I trim these down? Well, now I'm going to sequence them, and I want them to be perfectly like butted up with one another so that I can create that actual sequence. So with these all selected, I will go to Animation and then go down to Keyframe Assistant and choose Sequence Layers. And do not select Overlap. I do not want to do any kind of transition. I want these to be hard cuts. And now we have this. And if we just play this back, you can see now we have a montage. But what we want to do now is bring the playhead here and hit the N key so that we'll just loop. And now we have a loop here. Okay, so now I've got this montage, but you're seeing some of the edges here. So what I could do is I could click this little button right down here, Region of Interest. And now I can click and drag in the comp and create this little bounding box. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the edges here fully horizontally, and I'm just going to trim down the top and the bottom, something like this. And now if I play this back, this is looking a little bit better. You know, you can trim it as far as you want, or I can add like some kind of a background here, but I want this just to be nicely trimmed here. And once I get it cropped as I like, I can go to the composition drop-down menu and say crop comp to region of interest, and that'll perfectly size this as I want it. And now I have this nicely cropped montage here. And now if you have the time to invest, you can just download as many maps as you want and just go through these steps to create a longer montage, depending on how many seconds you want it to be. Or you can simply loop one that's like 7 to 10 maps, you know, whatever you want to do. Now, I naturally want this to be a little bit longer, so there's like 100 different ways I can, loop this. I could pre-comp it and do a loop keyframe on the time remapping. I could export it, bring it back in, and go to interpret footage and change the number of loops. There are a bunch of different ways, but I think the easiest way would just be to duplicate all of these and then drag this down below and then very quickly align it here and then grab them all again and then duplicate these. Let's say we want we want it to be around 5 seconds. This is just a down and dirty way to do this. Plus, a nice reason to be able to do this is that I can change the speed of this as well. I can very quickly grab all these layers again, sequence them. I can change the length of them if I want. That's looking pretty good. Let's say we just want it to be like this length here. So I will go to the end here, hit N, and then go to the beginning, hit B. Let's just do this again. Here we go. Okay, now we got something that's a little over 3 seconds. Now, for the sound effects, I have an effect that I downloaded for a stopwatch. So I'm going to drag this, drop this in here. I downloaded it from Epidemic Sound, but you could probably search, just a free stopwatch sound effect anywhere and go and get it. And here's what it sounds like. And I want it to be sped up. So I'm going to drag it down here into the composition, and I've opened up the stretch column. If you right click on your columns here, you can select stretch, and now I'm just gonna bring this, speed it up, maybe somewhere like 50, and that should change the pitch. There we go. Maybe even a little bit faster, like 45. Something like that. And it'd probably be much easier to do this in Adobe Premiere Pro, so maybe you could export this and do this effect in Premiere Pro, because I think Premiere Pro has pitch shifters and different things that you can do, but this is pretty cool to do this all in After Effects. And now I'm ready to go. I can export this out. Okay, as always, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you want to get the project files, those are available over on my Patreon page, and if you want to join the waitlist for my Adobe After Effects Masterclass, you can find a link to that down in the video description. See you next time.